Anyways, guys, this is a deck list. I call it Despia Dogmatika Godall just because the deck is so strong. Anyways, we're playing one Despian Tragedy. We played 2 Shaddoll Hedgehogs, 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Reeshaddoll Wendy's, 2 versions of Squamata, 1 version of Shaddoll Dragon. We're gonna go ahead and play a Naelshaddoll Ariel, just 1, and then 3 versions of Dogmatika Ecclesia, right? From there, we played 3 versions of Aluber, the Jester of Despia, and then 1 Shaddoll Beast. Now, I do play 1 copy of Dogmatika Floor. I was playing 2 copies, but I felt like 1 is just all you really need. And then 1 copy of Dogmatika Maximus. And Dogmatika Maximus is real strong because what you can do is you can activate this ability. Let's say they have something on the field that you just need to get rid of. You can actually send away your Elder Entity to the grave, and then also you can send away either your Titan Kalad, the Ash Dragon, or you can send the Albion, the Branded Dragon, to the grave. It all depends on what you're looking for. Just to like try to get rid of the field. So that's why you're playing basically Maximus. Maximus helps you just discard cards from the extra deck. Then I played 2 Dramaturge of Despia. This helps because when you get a fusion monster on the field, when Dramaturge is on the field, you can go ahead and actually negate an effect. Then we played 3 Shaddoll Fusions, 1 Nadir Servant, 1 Despia of the Branded, 2 copies of Super Poly, and then 3 copies of Naelshaddoll Fusion, 1 copy of Called by the Grave, 3 copies of Branded Opening, 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and then 1 Reeshaddoll Incarnation, and then a Shaddoll Schism. Now, to be honest, I wish I could play 2 of these, but I did not. I don't have enough material to craft the second Called by the Grave, so I can't. But to be honest, I really didn't find myself really using Nadir Servant too much. So if you think you need it, I honestly didn't think you did. But I mean, it does help you send a card from the extra deck to the grave once again. That way you can add a Dogmatika. So, you know, you can send out Elder Entity to the grave, destroy a card on the field, spell, trap, monster, and then you still get a Dogmatika card. So, anyways, we're playing Elder Entity, 2 Naelshaddoll Windows. Windows is super strong. Naelshaddoll App Cologne, 2 Constructs, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, probably the best card in this extra deck, to be honest with you, other than Winda. Titan Kalad, the Ash Dragon, Albion, the Branded Dragon, Despian Tragedy. We played 2 copies of those, and then Naelshaddoll Shekinga, and then Despian Proskenian, the first Dark Lord, and then Predapant Verity. Predapant is super strong because what you can do is you can actually use its effect to make it into a Super Poly, make it into a Shadow Construct, or make it into an Naelshaddoll Fusion. If you make it into Super Poly, you can actually take their monsters and just fuse them, especially if they have 2 darks or dark and a light. It's just super good, super good. Anyways, thank you all once again for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, so we are going against Mr. Bonamos, and he's going to be playing some junks. Now, he is actually going to get off a pretty strong board, so this is going to be a good example of what our deck can really do, because Dogmatika Shaddoll is actually pretty nutty if you can combine it with the Despia. So he's going to go into TG Hyper Librarian, from there go into Junk Speeder. From Junk Speeder, he's going to just do a whole bunch of summon bullcrap, right? So as we can see, things are going to resolve, and even on the double speed, it is still taking a long time. So just imagine what I was going through as I'm sitting here just watching him do this. Now he goes into his Formula Synchron, classic double draw from Librarian and then the Formula. Plus he's going to get to activate his Jet Synchron's ability as well. So he's getting off a pretty bunch of cards from the deck. And then he goes into Junk Servant. From there he goes into Draco. Now his Draco Berserker gets summoned. That's a negate in itself. And I'm like, okay, well, what else is he gonna do? But then I noticed he has a Hyper Librarian and he has a Junk Speeder, so he's going to go into Shooting Quasar. I did question why Shooting Quasar instead of the other one, which is Cosmic Blazar, but either is what it is. I decided to go ahead and activate Regeki. Now the reason we activate Regeki is because I wanted to bait out his shooting Quasar. Then I wanted to go ahead and use branded opening, right? Our branded opening, however, gets negated by the Ash Blossom he has in his hand, and so is our Regeki because of the shooting Quay. I then go into Shaddoll Fusion. Let's toss 2 cards into graveyard. Now the reason that we could activate Shaddoll Fusion without having any Shaddolls in our hand is because he has monsters from his extra deck, which means I can toss out cards from my deck. So from there we go into Shaddoll Apocalypse, and then I activate all 3 of my abilities. He's going to go ahead and negate the Wendy, and what Wendy would do is it just allows us to special summon a Shaddoll from our deck, which I didn't care about, but I cared about the other effects. That's why I activated in this order. So with him being special summoned, what Apocalypse does is that he can target 1 card in the field and negates his effects. So you're going to see what I do. I'm going to actually go ahead and negate. We get this onto the field, Shaddoll Beast. And then we're going to go ahead and summon our Despia Jester. Then we're going to go ahead and use our Despia Theater. And from there, we are going to bring out Starving Venom. Now, Starving Venom has a pretty nasty effect. Once he's summoned, I can choose any level 5 or higher monster on the field, and I can go ahead and increase my attack by that. And then also a Squamata going to the graveyard, we can go ahead and place a card into the grave. And now what I placed in the grave was Ariel, and the reason I did that is because he has a Cyber Synchron in his grave, and if any card would be destroyed right here, he could banish this from the graveyard to keep his shooting Quasar from being destroyed. So I decided to go ahead and banish that along with Doppelganger and then PG. Now I increase our attack by the 4K, and then I'm going to bring out Dogmatika Ecclesia, and then from there we're going to bring out Fleur. Fleur is going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and attack, right? I'm going to use Quasar's ability because we were able to take his ability thanks to Starving Venom, and we're going to go ahead and negate his Quasar from coming back, from summoning another monster. I then use that to increase our attack, and then I go ahead and wipe him out, and then we're going to actually end our turn. He unfortunately lightning storms us, but we have a branded opening in our grave, so we can go ahead and save our fusion monsters. He then gets off a junk. He's gonna go into more fusion, more synchrons. He summons Excel, and then summons his Doppels. And then from there, he's going to go into Stardust. Not really sure. I guess he didn't really have anything else he could have done. So I decided to go into Despian Tragedy, and then from there, we're gonna summon out our Despian what do you call it, the Dramaturge of Despia, and we're just gonna go ahead and end for game. So as you can see, we got over a strong board, had 2 negates, which would have been super annoying, but we were able to get over it. Anyways, let's get into the second one. Okay, so I do want to point out I am on my second account, so I'm still in the gold rank, and what I tell you, gold has some weird decks, man. Not a lot of the normal decks, some competitive, some non-competitive, but either way, they play a lot of weird cards. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and summon off our Despian Tragedy, however you say his name, and we're gonna use our Shadow Blast to go ahead and draw a card. We get to draw a Dramaturge from our deck. I actually forgot to place our Super Poly, so this is going to be quite annoying as he's able to just go ahead and use Black Illusion Ritual, which really threw me off because I was like, Guardian Yatos, oh, is he playing in the Yatos deck? But it was like, no, he's playing Relinquish. He then takes our Fusion, unfortunately, so goodbye Despian creators, and he's going to be able to attack us. But before we do that, we lower his attack to 0 for his Yatos, and so he has about a total of 3,900 that he could do to us, which would have been a lot worse. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and now go on our turn, and what I'm actually going to do is use our Super Poly after we use our Aluber Despia. And now with this, what I can do is I can actually send one card to the grave, use his Relinquish with our Super Poly, and bring out Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. From there, I'm going to use it on Eyados, take his attack, and we're just going to go ahead and attack the Eyados right here. He uses Mirror Force, but because we have Branded Opening, we can save our fusion once again. And Branded Opening is super good because it saves not only just one, but multiple fusions on the field. And he's just going to go ahead and end turn. So it's now our turn. Like I said, it's very weird decks that we've been going against. So we're going to use Branded Opening, toss our Super Poly, summon out this. Not much we could have done. He's actually going to bring in Guardian Slime, which really threw me off. Not sure why. I don't know what deck this is, but it's it's lasting long enough to get by us. Anyways, he summons out his Egyptian God Slime. He's going to attack into us, but what he doesn't know is when Starving Venom dies, we can literally destroy all special summoned monsters on the field. And on top of that, with our fusion dying, Despia could come out, Aluber of Jester, and we can summon him. He's going to go ahead and end his phase now that he lost another boss monster on his field. And we're going to use our theater to go ahead and fusion into one of our boss monsters, being the first Dark Lord. And we're going to use Tragedy and Dramaturge. Dramaturge is going to come back to the field. And Tragedy is going to be able to add a card to our hand. We add another Dramaturge, and he's going to go ahead and scoop because he was going to lose. Dramaturge has a total of 3k, and then we have a total of 4k. I was going to attack with Dramaturge first, and then attack with the Dark Lord. Anyways, let's get into the next one. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Shaddoll Fusion and use our Wendy and our Dogmatika Fleurdlis to go ahead and summon our Naelshaddoll Construct. And then from there, I'm just going to go ahead and use Wendy's ability and then Construct's ability. That way it can get some more shadows on the graveyard because we have a Shaddoll Schism in our hand. So with Shaddoll Schism being on the hand, it's going to actually be very beneficial because now we can use Dogmatika to send a Hedgehog into the grave, and then from the Hedgehog, we can add a Shaddoll Beast to our hand. And now Schism, when it's their turn, they're going to go ahead and try to actually get rid of our face downs by using Harpy's Feather Duster. But thank goodness we can activate Shaddoll Schism, and then from Schism we can immediately activate this effect since it's still the main phase. Banish 2 cards that are shadows in our graveyard that we sent last turn to summon out Winda. From Winda, now they can only go ahead and special summon once. He destroys our construct, but Winda can't be destroyed by card effects, so we bring back Schism. He's then going to go show what he's playing, which is Tri-Brigades, and honestly, Tri-Brigades need to be special summoned, so he can only special summon once per turn. There goes his once per turn right there, and he's just gonna go ahead and scoop. So this is the problem when it comes to this deck, is that they have to not only get by Dogmatikas, they have to also go ahead and get by Despias, and then they have to go ahead and get by Shaddolls. And it's all combined into one, and a lot of their effects just play off with each other, and it's just really, really strong. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into our last match. All right, so this one's going to be our last one, and we are going against Dark Magician. I guess couldn't spell Dark Magician. Anyways, it looks like they're playing Time Lord, so I'm going to go ahead and Ask Blossom the Time Maiden. And then from there, let me go ahead and speed it up. He's going to play 3 cards face down. Now, we do start off with an Naelshaddoll Fusion, a Aluber of the Despia, and Reeshaddoll. So we're going to go summon Aluber of the Jester Despia card. Then we're going to go ahead and get Despia Theater. And we're just going to go ahead and attack. I wanted to see what he had face down. After that, I activate Shaddoll Fusion. That way we can bring out Winda. And then from there, I'm going to use Hedgehog and Wendy to go ahead and use their effects. Now, I honestly forgot, like, they are playing Time Lord, so they're not going to really be special summoning like that. So the Winda play was really just on me. It's a bad play. Anyways, they're going to go ahead and start just burning the heck out of us. But then, because we played Winda, actually, they're going to activate Blazing Mirror Force, right? And so we actually end up saving ourselves because we didn't lose our Winda, because it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So the window was actually the correct play. They're gonna place one card face down, activate Time Maiden that way to get out the Michonne of the Time Lord. Yeah, this is gonna be annoying. He takes us down to about 1850 actually. So from there we draw into our Dramaturge. We're going to go ahead and summon once again using Theater to summon our Starving Venom. And then we're going to use Windows of Ability in Shaddoll Fusion and Squamata. Now, I feel like at this part, I probably should have played it a little better. Just because I was like really worried about what this face down was. And then I know I can't really attack. So I decided to go ahead and get rid of that face down. Luckily we did. We're going to go ahead and activate Shaddoll Fusion. And we're going to summon out Winda once again. Just because I know it cannot be destroyed, right? Beast activates and then Dramaturge activate. We're going to be able to summon our Dramaturge back to the field. We get a branded opening and we're going to go ahead and play the branded opening, get rid of our Shaddoll Fusion, and then use Aluber of the Despia, summon it, and then bring another branded opening. The reason I did this is I was cautious that maybe he was going to get a face down card that can go ahead and deal damage to us based on how much cards we have in our hand, right? So I was like, okay, well, if I get rid of all my cards in my hand right now, and then he actually activates Secret Burial. Secret Burial works with every card in hand and on field. So by getting rid of that, we're still going to take the same amount of damage we would have, but at least we get something out of it. Anyways, I just go in for the attack, hoping that he didn't have anything. It turned out he did not, so we were able to play past the Time Lords. And this deck actually does get countered pretty hard by Time Lord unless we can get Dramaturge off on the field first, and then we can go ahead and negate the Time Lord's ability using Dramaturge. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Do not forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go ahead and once again, I'll type out the deck list and I'll put the deck list in the front of the video like I already had showed you guys. Anyways, thank you all. Life is signing out. See ya.